Rap Radar Podcast. My name is B-Dot.
Elliot Wilson.
We in Kentucky with the man himself.
Let's see if I get it right, Jack. Tell me if I get it right. Louisville.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
Louisville.
Welcome.
You got to do it like that because we say Louisville.
Yeah.
Thanks for flying out. I
Louisville.
appreciate it.
First time in Louisville,
Yes.
boy.
Yeah.
Jack,
Welcome.
why you ain't do no press for this album, man? Why you gave us the honor of sitting with us, man? We appreciate that, man. Jackman.
This album is about rap, and I know y'all want to talk hip hop.
100%.
So much of the press I do is spread. They want to talk about the movie, which is wonderful, but I don't want to talk about the movie with y'all. I want to talk about rap. And so I was thinking of hip hop when I made this album, so I wanted to do an interview with some hip hop folks. But other than that, I wanted to let the music speak.
Yeah.
Most people weren't expecting you to return this fast following the last project, man. No rollout, no radio single, no promo. Like, why was that your approach this time around?
There's just so much music right now, as y'all know. And I was just thinking, I don't want to try to create something. I just want to give them where I'm at right now because it may not be where I'm at in 6 months. So I said, let's go right now. I can't lie. I guess I just wanted to pledge allegiance to the genre a little bit. I don't know. I just wanted to take all the frills off and just say, here, rap.
Do you think some of the album, The Come Home Kids Miss You, the commercial success misconstrued?
I love that album. And I think I always will. I see a lot of redeeming qualities in that album. I had so much fun making it.
Yeah.
And you don't always get points for how much fun you have. But I had a lot of fun making it. But I definitely, afterwards, spent some time feeling a bit misunderstood, which is okay. You know, that's not the worst way to live your life. It's okay to be misunderstood. But I felt misunderstood, as so many artists have and continue to. And I'll probably feel misunderstood again soon. But I just wanted to fucking say my piece. I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to do it my way this time.
And you said your piece like under 30 minutes. It's an easy listen too. It's like only 10 tracks as opposed to the other projects that have 14, 15. Did you want to make it that tight and concise?
Concise is a great word. That's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to waste a line. I didn't want some bridge to just make the song longer. It's like I saw no reason to add anything that wasn't crucial. Every line mattered to me. I didn't set out like, yo, let's make a short ass album.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up short, and I'm like, why would we don't need to? And there's 3 songs with 3 verses,
Right.
which is unheard of right now.
Hip hop, baby.
It's still the songs are still. I'm giving as much as I can, but I don't like making songs longer to make them longer. So if they end up short, they end up short.
But you know what I like about the album is like it's an easy listen in one sense, but in some ways it isn't. Where it's like you hit the ground with common ground. And it's a short record, you like run it back, and it's like, wait a minute, he said a lot of shit in this record.
Yeah.
Like I gotta go back and really dissect the bars. Like he made a lot of strong statements in this one record. Like this one record, it says a lot. Like was that your purpose also? It's like packed with a lot of messaging in it.
Yeah, there's just so many vibes right now. There's so many just vibes and mood music that like, I think on Come Home, I was so focused on ear candy. It was like literally a phrase I was using in the studio constantly. I remember telling the producers, I was like, yo, every beat you make, I need you to imagine there's a girl sitting shotgun with you in the car. She needs to like it. And I let go of that this time and was like, let's make this about just statements. I let go of like my tone being as soothing as it could be. And I was like, yo, just rap. Because it's just so much music. So I felt, say something. I don't know. I wanted to say something. Yeah. There's a middle ground you could strike. There's a balance you could strike where you can have ear candy and say something. I'm not saying you can't, but for me, it was just like, fuck the ear candy. Fuck the vibes. Let me just say a few things on my mind.
Yeah.
And get right to it. I think people are craving that a little bit. Is get right to it. What are you trying to say?
Yeah. So what are you trying to say with common ground? Because to me, it feels like it's like an indictment of like white privilege, right? To a certain extent.
Yeah, I suppose so. I'll be hesitant to create a synopsis for any of these tracks. I'd rather continue to leave them up for interpretation. But more than anything, like it's like I said at the beginning of the record, I'm just painting a picture of what I see. Just is what I'm observing in society and culture right now. And I didn't necessarily promise like a payoff or a like, and here's what comes because of that. It's, hey, here's some of what I'm seeing. And sometimes I think just paint a picture. I'm literally just painting something I'm seeing.
That's
and how you take it is how you take it. How you feel about it. I wasn't even scolding it. I wasn't even saying this is horrible. That's kind of what I didn't want to do on this album is like, say this is what I think is bad and this is what I think is good. I'm not interested in right or wrong right now. Like it's not super interesting to me. It's more here's a picture. You decide. Like, I'm not here to tell people how to feel. I'm just painting something.
You definitely got your shit off too. Like one of the lyrics that stood out to me was like condescending suburban kids growing up, wanting to be rap journalists, write urban myths about who do you think the best urban kid is. It felt very specific. Do you feel like those are the people that are like critiquing your music unfairly?
I don't think anyone's being unfair. Everyone probably is, ideally is just writing from their heart if we're lucky. I definitely think there's some like really self-righteous condescension just in journalism in general, but of course, look at the side. I'm the artist, so I'm looking over at them like, what the fuck are you doing? It's just what it is. I was definitely venting right there, but it goes beyond me. Like, I just feel, I don't know. It's just irritating when you are putting yourself out there and then people are making a living off of critiquing you, putting yourself out there. Put yourself out there, motherfucker. That's how we all feel.
Right.
It's natural. Everybody's working.
Another takeaway I got from Common Ground is, you talk about the differences between suburban communities and the urban communities. Like, when did you realize like the playing field wasn't level?
How do you mean?
Just like growing up, with being here in Kentucky or just like in just life in general, when you realize there are some disproportionate.
Yeah, I mean, I went to public school, so I went to school with a lot of black kids that were from the other side of town. Didn't take long. I mean, probably elementary school, you start to realize, oh, they're living a little differently from me because I grew up in a great neighborhood, like in a very unique neighborhood. I grew up in a peaceful place, but I was going to school with a lot of kids that were from the other side of town. So I think you just start to, I don't think it takes much to realize that some people are from worse situations than you. But I don't know, if I hadn't gone to public school, I don't know if I could be a compelling rapper.
Yeah. That's why going to They Don't Love It. And that's pretty much the big statement. That's the only song you shot a video for. Do you think that's really what it's about? It's like when you look at this game, 5 years in, you see how competitive it gets. Do you really think it comes down to really be the best, which is what you want to be? You have to have that drive. You have to have that dedication.
Yeah, I think you have to have passion. I think you have to be a fan. You have to be a fan of the genre and love it. I love the craft. I love chasing getting better. Coming off of Come Home, like, of course, there's some frustrations with not feeling understood, but it's also exciting to think, okay, let me see how I can get better. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for people to say you have room to improve. Fuck, okay, let's get after it.
How involved were DJ Drama and Don Cannon on this project?
Spiritually, heavily. I mean, I was really excited to play them the music, but I did a lot of it on my own, kind of remotely. Cannon's always a mentor for me. We talk hip-hop. But of course, there was just a lot of excitement in recording the songs and thinking, damn, I can't wait for them to hear this shit because I know they're going to like it. And sure enough, it resonated. I don't know. I feel a kinship to them, but I did. I picked the beats. I spent those times. There's a lot of solitude on this project.
So they didn't know that you were creating this project?
They knew I was in the studio,
okay.
But we weren't planning, all right, let's get a 10-track Concise.
They didn't know you was ready to go. Like you was.
Yeah, and we all agreed together, let's go. I don't know, it's exciting, man. Like, fuck, like, I played it by the book so much last year. I did it right. I did the press run. I created moments, and this time around, let's just enjoy.
Bars, he's full up.
Let's just give them the music. Like, I don't give a fuck what comes with it. Let's just give them the music. Like,
and you said 2 weeks have passed, and I just want to say the love and respect I felt from not only my peers, but from y'all, the fans, the folks that have supported me from the beginning. It feels fucking amazing. I never felt so connected to the people listening to my music. Thank you. What inspired you to say that?
I just have been getting messages and running into people on the street. And I think one thing I wanted to get back to, man, not that it was gone, but like, as much as I enjoy like young teenage screams, there is something so exciting about somebody coming up to you and say, yo, your shit is fucking dope. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying one's better than the other, but I think for this album, like, I was really excited about the idea that some dude will come up to me that loves rap and says, yo, I just listened to your album and it was phenomenal. I felt it. Like, that's really what we do it for. That's why I got started, is just so a motherfucker would tell me I'm dope.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling in the world. And fucking, I ran into Kendrick at the Met, and it was like a few days after the album dropped, and he was like, yo, like, this is the best move you could have made. The shit is incredible. And just gave me enough props. I could have just fucking walked home. I didn't even want to meet anyone else. I was just like, it's like one of the best feelings on earth.
Yeah.
And I saw Tyler. He said something similar. All the people I respect have been giving me that hat tip, and
100%.
that is so gratifying. That's so great. It's not the only thing we do it for, but it's a huge thing. It's just I just wanted to be an MC on this album.
When we first heard it, me and Ellie were going back and forth. So this feels like an album of the year contender. Hit Jason and Drama and Cam. Yo, I think you got one with this one right here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
In a lot of ways, it almost felt like a debut.
Or felt like what they say, a mixtape, because it's just like the artistic freedom, right? Can you speak to that? Did you feel like you may approach it like a mixtape per se as than not an album?
I just been feeling like I just want to remind motherfuckers how I got here. I didn't get here because girls liked me or because I'm funny or charismatic. Like, why did I get in the door? Because I can fucking rap.
Right.
That's really what it was at the end of the day. And I wanted to get back to that. Recording this album, I felt like a young, hungry rapper. And so I saw no reason to steer from that. I think on Come Home, I was trying to make a song for everyone. I was just trying to bite off the entire world, like just grab everyone, cast the biggest possible net I could cast. And this time I was like, I have one mission. Like, I just want to rap. Like, as the chorus comes, but at the end of the day, I just want to tell stories and, I don't know, reconnect with why I got into hip hop.
Yeah.
There's a difference between entertainment and pop culture and then hip hop. Like, this was for hip hop.
Why do you think your dedication is with that? Why do you think that ended up being, was there a moment where you was like, this really is what I want to do for the rest of my life? This is what it is.
I don't know. It's funny. A lot of those, I told you I ordered a bunch of XXLs and I think I was just reading old interviews. Y'all put Eminem on the cover every month. Goddamn.
It's so, Jack.
I guarantee it.
I had to sell magazines,
I was reading a lot. I was reading a lot of Eminem interviews, and I remember I was reading this one section. I actually posted the section, and there was this whole column that said, "Is Eminem bad for hip hop?" And y'all had some of the biggest rappers in the game answer. Jay-Z gave his answer.
I sat with Steve Stout, and he's watch this. Nobody else could do this. And he called Nas. This is when Nas and Jay had beef. He called Nas, and he gave a quote from Nas.
Nas answered? I saw him all.
He called Jay, and then Jay answered. He said, nobody else could get these guys on the phone like that.
Right. So I read that.
Steve Stout, shout out.
Each one of these, everyone was like, fuck no, Eminem's not bad for hip hop. Right. He's dope as shit. And that's what connected with me is he's dope as shit. At the end of the day, if you can rap, what else are we talking about?
Yes.
We're not perfect. He made a few mistakes in his career, sure. I forgot about some of them. I had to read those magazines to see them. But it don't fucking matter because he can rap his ass off. So I just had a moment where I was like, just rap, bro. There's so many things. You could try to be everything, but at the end of the day, on this one, I just wanted to rap.
But you did say you're the hardest white boy since Eminem, and then
that's right.
Certain people got in their feelings. MGK got in his feelings.
I know.
No response. Like, are you gonna clap back at him lyrically? Did it surprise you that people respond? And I saw you had put up a XXL actually a show and prove of Mac Miller. So you have all these Rest in Peace Mac Miller fans who was like, nah, Mac Miller, blah, blah. And I know you didn't mean to offend any of those people. It's like, when you make a statement like that on some MC level of I'm the best, how everybody reacts to it in this modern era, how do you take that in?
How do you take it in? I guess you just fucking take it. I don't know. It's interesting. I think everyone is entitled to their opinion. And I feel great about what I said, and I feel great about the reaction.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
You just wanted to stir it up in a little bit. Like,
not even. It's like, it was a stream of consciousness sort of verse. And not that I don't stand on my statement, but it's just pop. I'm an MC. I'm talking my shit. Like, it's not, this ain't a new concept to feel yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel no reservations about what was said at all.
100%. Yeah. Wait, going back to the Met Gala real quick, you got to solve the mystery for all of us. We see all y'all dressing nicely at the Met Gala. Everything's fly. Is there anything going on inside? What is inside? Do you get food? Do you get to eat? Do you get to talk to people? What goes on inside the Met Gala, Jack Harlow? Can you solve that mystery for all of us?
Has anyone ever spoken on it?
No.
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Well, I'm not going to.
Gotta keep some things close to the chest.
I like going, so, you know.
You don't want to violate that.
I'm going to fuck that up.
Smart man, Jack Harlow.
Keep it to the chest.
Smart man.
Speaking of the chest, album cover.
Chest all out. Chest all out,
all
man.
out. You know what I mean? Where was that shot at?
Topless. That was the alleyway behind my middle school that I walked down every day while I was with all my homeboys, or we'd walk to Ear Ecstasy, a local record store, and I bought Thank Me Later and Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy up there. And so those were just like my primitive MC years. I used to shoot music videos in that exact alley on a little fucking flip camera. Just a lot of history in that alley. I don't know. To me, it just represented going back to where I did the whole album out here. I did the whole album in Louisville. So I wanted the cover to reflect where my heart is.
It seems like to me, listening to the album, you have these moments of celebrity fatigue, right? Like you move back to Louisville, you know, you don't want to do press to your publicist, Jason. Like
Here we are,
right?
Thank you, Jason.
But is that a fair
you,
assessment of like where your mind is right now? Just want to get back to the small town.
I love being home. And at the end of the day, I think you go towards where you feel love. And I feel so much love here. And I don't know, I spent almost every day on the road last year. So I think I just had an appetite for being home. I feel so connected to the city, as I've said a million times. I don't want to beat a dead horse like on some self-pity, like being a celebrity is tough. Because I'm blessed. But so here's what it is. I've been rambling. Here's what it really is. If I could distill it down, I've been exposed to the illusions of what is supposed to make me happy. And I think a lot of people get exposed to, like, this is what you're supposed to do. You buy a house in the hills. We go to the club. And I think I've just got all the illusions out the way, and I'm deciding for myself what makes me happy. And that's what Is That Alright is about. That whole song is about. I don't need to be told what to do with my time, money, and platform. I'm just going to go towards what actually excites me. And I find that my preference is to be here. So I'm going to be here until my preference is to be elsewhere. I'm going to spend my time how I want to spend my time. And I'm going to do press when I'm ready to do press. Because I'm not a total introvert. I'm not a hermit. I'm not on some Frank Ocean shit. But there's times you want to be seen and there's times you don't.
Do you really have 10 girlfriends?
Hell no. Nah. That's one of my least favorite lines, too.
Really?
I just didn't change it because it felt so good. Like, sonically, like, it was just like, yeah, that flows. Like, I knew people would feel it. But by the time the album came out, I was out of a space where I wanted to talk about a ton of women. I don't know.
Yeah.
That line's cool, but that ain't the line that I'm like, damn, I talked my shit right there. There's so many other lines that mean the world.
Let's talk about some of those lines. What stands out to you that you're proud of?
The line right before that, no airports and no flights. That's how I want to live my life. Is that all right? It almost feels rhetorical because it's not all right. You're going to have to get on a few flights. But for me, it's like, how few flights can I get on right now?
Let's
That's
get
how I
settled.
feel.
Let's
That's
get
why it means
settled.
so much to me that y'all would come here, because one of the things I've discovered is I love routine. I don't want to escape routine, and being on the road, routine does not exist for the most part for
100%.
me. So I don't know. We could go through every song and there's lines that I'm like, can't wait for my grandkids to hear that, because that's exactly how I felt.
There's also a lot of concepts on the project too. Like one that stood out was Gang Gang Gang. It's really dark. I'm like, what's the inspiration behind that track?
And the inspiration is exactly what the song is about, and experiencing different variations of that personally, of just friendships that go left because of decisions. The real question of the song is, how deep does your loyalty go? It's something we as men, we always are talking loyalty. Everyone's always talking about how down for each other they are.
Yeah.
And I guess I heard the beat. Shout out Rashad, incredible beat. I guess I just wanted to flip the concept of being down for my gang on its head, see how far that stretches.
But were those real life situations?
Inspired by.
Changing the names and stuff?
Changing a lot.
Yeah.
Those are stories. Those stories aren't necessarily
Yeah.
from my direct life, but they were inspired by things I've seen and gone through. But tons of variation. Yeah.
But then don't blame on me. You had me scratching my head because it's 3 different perspectives. You're talking from like your older brother, your younger brother, and to your unborn child. But you only have one brother in real life though, right?
It's a little brother, the older brother, and then it's the dad.
Yeah.
The third verse is the father.
That's what I felt. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why the third verse starts off, you grew up in my household. Like he owns the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that feel to do that record? This seems like so personal to family and stuff. Like you said, this is the album of Bar Fools Up, but it's like there are actually really deep personal songs on there too.
Yeah, to me those don't cancel each other out. To me, barring people up can be conceptual and storytelling and personal. Like when I think bars, I've stopped thinking braggadocio. Not that braggadocio isn't bars, but I've stopped thinking strictly it's about hitting your chest. To me, bars is
The raw truth.
just compelling statements. Yeah.
So how did that feel? Did you play that for your family? And was it?
I did. I didn't want them blindsided, and they took it really well. My family took it really well and understood the picture I was trying to paint. I mean, that song, that's the one I've seen connect with the people. It
Even the
feels really
statement
good.
"Blame on Me" it's accountability, right? It's just like people in this era, what's really going on and how do we address it? Because especially in family, sometimes you don't say the tough stuff. Like you said, the fact that Power of You always keeps saying, "I'm terrified," like to speak on this there's so much power in that.
Yeah. So much goes unsaid, right? I think it started off with just the first verse. So it was just a sibling song. And then I was like, okay, let me see if we can tell it from another perspective. And then slowly it evolved into, we may as well bring fatherhood into this. So I just tried to stretch it as far as I could because everyone has something with their family.
Yeah.
Everyone has a spot that if you just hit, tears will fall out.
Because I'm the oldest in my family, so I feel like I could relate to you. It's like the father puts the pressure on you. It's because you represent a lot of his dreams or his view of things, and it's like being the oldest, you carry that weight. I always tell, I have two younger brothers. You inherit that, and there's always that toughness between your father if you're the oldest child. And I thought
sometimes
you
you
really
unload
captured
it.
that. Huh?
Sometimes you unload it.
Yeah.
It's a heavy one.
I'm literally Elliot Jr. I don't put that on
That
my
is
bottom
weight.
line.
I think you've lived up to it, man.
Thank you, my G. Thank you. I appreciate it.
When we talk about family, man, we can't not talk about your mom, man. Like, she's been a big factor.
All up in the video?
Yeah, man. She introduced you to rap. Like, what did she think about the Jack Harlow success?
She's fucking loving it, man. I can't lie. She's a big participant and consumer in it. She keeps up. But she's just an overall incredible woman. Everyone that meets my mom is just captivated. My mom is incredible. And she's helped me start a foundation out here. And so her heart's just in a phenomenal place. She's just a hardworking, ambitious woman of her own.
Like Elliot alluded to, like in the Churchill Downs video, she's in there. I love that scene at the end. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But like, how meaningful was it to have her in the video and to shoot that video in Louisville at Churchill's Downs during the Kentucky Derby?
Louisville beat out Louisville.
And get it Louisville. How meaningful was that?
It was one of the best days of my life, man. That was one of the best days of my life. So fulfilling to bring my hero to my hometown.
Talking about the boy Drizzy Drake.
That's right.
Be clear.
That was totally impromptu, that scene with my mom. And I'm pretty protective over my family. But that was just a moment of, yeah, it feels right. It feels great. Let's at least shoot it. And then we watched it, and it's pretty much everyone's favorite scene. So, incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it like to be, one of the lines about being friends with your heroes? Drake, I think I saw something you said. Drake, since I was in 6th grade, Best I Ever Had came out. He's been that force in the culture. Everybody don't want to give it up. What is it like to acknowledge that, but then also to get to know him and be a true friend and make songs with him?
I told you about the Kendrick moment, and then I'm way closer to Drake at this point. I've only met Kendrick a couple times, and shit like that, shit like both of those situations and so many others that I've had the privilege of experiencing. Those are the moments where you're like, oh yeah, I'm fucking blessed. I'm living the life I fantasized about a decade ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, any of my time with Drake is like precious to me because I used to dream of just chopping it up with him, much less doing a song and feeling validated by him, but just being able to chop it with him and have free conversation. And he had heroes of his own.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's the cycle. That's what we all like. That's
Lil
what we
Wayne
all
put 'em
dream.
on. Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
and that's what we all dream of. I'd like to think is that chance to get to know the people that drove you to the spot. Because before all this, they're just damn near figments of your imagination almost, and they're just mythical figures. So to really meet them is, good Lord, I don't know. I'm like a nostalgia junkie though, so I always think full circle. I always think to 11-year-old me and think, wow, we did it. You know?
Yeah.
On Churchill Downs, you alluded to it as well, like how you Did you feel like there was pressure to match the success of Lil Uzi Vert, who was also on the Generation Now label?
A little bit, but really it was just like I showed up and Vert was the talk of the label, much less the industry, and it was just like he was making leg drama and cannon. He was bringing in the cash. He was like,
XO Tour Life was a big record.
I'm walking to the studio every night, and his plaques are lined in the hallways. Just looking up at him like, jeez, I got to get up there.
It's funny because I know like you got with Drama, and it's like working at Chick-fil-A one minute, next thing you run around with Drama, and you're in Atlanta. It's like, and we would see you always just roll. You play the back. That's part of the culture. You play in the back. You're observing. You're waiting for your time. Can you talk about those days and what are some memories that really stand out to you? Playing the back with Drama, just getting into these rooms and like observing what's going on.
I mean, it was a good rhythm because I was still growing into myself, my confidence and how I wanted to look. I had who I was figured out a long time before I had how I want to look figured out. I think I almost neglected my appearance because I was so in touch with who I was inside and authentically. So I think it's like I hit puberty late because it was like, okay, maybe I should clean up a little bit. So I think during those years, I was figuring myself out, figuring out who I was in those rooms. Because it's one thing to know who you are in your bedroom alone, but ideally it's the same thing. But no matter what, you walk into a room and there's just dynamics and you figure, okay, what's my presence in? And I had to grow into kind of holding my nuts and like really being like, I belong here.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at the time at all, but there was a lot of doubts, a lot of insecurity on the way up. Is this ever going to happen?
Yeah.
But piece by piece.
I think that's the ill part about your success is that we seen it in real time. Like there wasn't no shortcuts. We saw the early interviews with the big curly fro and whatnot.
Something I'm super proud of.
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you that. Are you proud of that? I think only probably you and Meek Mill really you can see a lot of videos of y'all younger and like really see the growth of evolution of the person. Like it's very rare to see that. Like those awkward years and just the development.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
all there for you.
Some of it makes me cringe naturally, like the way anyone would cringe at old photos of themselves. But like, big picture, I'm so proud that it's documented. You know what I'm saying? Like a symptom of the era we grew up in. It was so easy to upload music. I mean, I was uploading music in the blog era, but I was just 12 years old.
Take that, Rosenthal's. He wasn't ready.
And that evolution, like you talk about that on Ambitious, like how you open up festivals at 1 p.m., like, or you said in the previous interview, like how you are afraid of doing empty shows because you've done so many.
Yeah.
I saw a picture a couple years ago that you posted on Twitter. You were performing in Birmingham, Alabama, in front of 13 people.
Yeah.
What is that? What are those experiences like?
Just totally emasculating. Fucking. It's a tough one, but it's why I'd like to think I'm pretty comfortable on stage now because I felt those feelings of you're not shit. I repeatedly felt, yo, you're not shit. You might rap like you're shit and you might think you're on your way, but you still ain't there. And that's humbling, but it prepares you. And now when there's 20,000 people in front of me, like, it ain't nothing.
You said that line about this because that one you really very facetious. You're like, is it because I'm white? Is because whatever. It's because I make eye contact. You talk about that as a performer. Like, why is it important to be able to make eye contact with the audience at times?
I don't know. It just feels good to target a person and lock in with them. I think it's a sense of intimacy. It's just, yeah, I see you. And I've been seeing you all night spit every fucking lyric on this set, and it means a lot to me. So let's share this moment together because we both love this part.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's sick.
It was dope seeing you share that moment with Brandy last year at the BET Awards. She came out during first class. Was it your idea to have a rhyme with you?
Definitely wanted her out there. I think rhyming was her idea.
Okay.
But we weren't mad at it. I thought she was going to sing. But she was on her rap shit. I don't know. She was in an MC space last year. And I was like, fuck it. Let's do it.
So what was that like connection like when y'all first met?
Weird. Because
Like you turned the negative into a positive, basically.
yeah,
right?
I mean, exactly. We met up and she's, I love you. We're all good and all this. And all that.
Squash the beef with Brandy?
Right.
Yeah, the beef was squashed pretty fucking immediately. Made me wonder if there was ever beef. Yeah, it's all love with her. We're entertainers. Luckily, we got some organic moments out of that where we were actually able to share a smile and get to know each other briefly. But at the end of the day, we're like, it's showmanship. Let's fucking do something they wouldn't expect.
I definitely wasn't expecting to see you on a big screen, man. White Man Can't Jump.
Yo, at the time of this right now, the movie's
Yeah, it'll be
released
out
tomorrow.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Of
You're
course.
like a couple hours away from you're in a real movie, Jack Harlow. What the fuck's going on, man?
Not something
You're
for
acting?
Tubi.
What's going on? You're in a movie?
Mm.
How does that feel?
I don't know. Feels normal. Yeah.
Was it something that you aspired? Was that part of it too? Like I might see your music drive, but
I always in the back of my mind was like, I'd like to do some acting because I like to play pretend. I like to lie. And then I was so focused on this rap shit
Yes,
that I was like, if the opportunity presents itself, and then sure enough it did.
yeah.
We're getting a lot of energy from that side of entertainment, and it's something I want to continue to chase. So it's definitely exciting. Really grateful. Really loved working with everyone on the set. Cinqua, my acting coach Lee is incredible. Calmatic, who comes from hip hop, so we're able to speak a language. I had a great time shooting it, and it came right after Come Home came out. So I think it was a necessary escape for me to get into another medium in a world of people that didn't even may not have even listened to the album. You know what I'm saying? Just we're totally focused on this mission. I really could give a fuck about my success.
Wow.
In hip hop, it's hey, we're here shooting a movie, and you're just another team player.
Be on time.
So be a team player.
Right.
Yeah. Very interesting from going from being in charge almost all the time to you're not in charge at all.
Yeah.
Did you have any trepidation about remaking such a classic movie?
No.
Woody and Wesley, man, pressure, man, with sequels.
Yeah, it's almost like there is no pressure surrounding it in reality. Obviously, I see the talk, oh, fuck, another reboot, but nobody gives a shit. I'm saying even the people complaining don't give a shit. It's just like they're just getting through their day. Nobody gives a shit about anything.
Maybe they do for a short time. That's the thing. If they,
That's not giving a shit.
how?
You know what I'm saying? Nobody gives a shit.
Right.
That's the one thing I'm growing to learn is everybody either has something to do or they're looking for something to do. And sometimes that results in comments, but nobody cares about anything.
Maybe the real estate was the very few things we really truly care about when he cut through the bullshit. Like it's very few things that we truly
And you aren't talking about it. What people are talking about doesn't reflect what they actually care about. What they're up at night. Nobody's up at night. Fuck, bro. They're remaking White Men, bro. Nobody is tossing and turning how could they fuck with a classic like this, man?
What are you doing to Woody
I love
Harrelson's
that
legacy?
movie. It's it's a fucking classic. We love the movie. All right, let's keep moving. Damn. Nobody cares.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you're not the only rapper in the movie. You got Vince Staples in there as well.
Fucking hell of a guy.
Yeah, man. How was it having another rapper on set with you?
Comforting, but I'm a Vince fan.
Hello.
Vince is still young, but Summertime '06 came out when I was midway through high school. And anyone that really listens to my music knows I love that type of production. Like that West Coast influence, tempo, a lot of that Pharrell, Timbaland influence shit. And Summertime '06 is one of my favorite albums ever.
Wow.
Vince is still in it, but I'm looking at him like, yo, you mean the world to me. And I know every rapper says that to each other when they run into each other. But I was like, listen, you mean a lot to me. And me and Vince clicked immediately. Great guy.
That Ramona Park broke my heart. One of the best albums of last year, man.
He's excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, give me that though. Give me. I need 5 favorite personal great hip hop albums to Jack Harlow.
Ever?
Yeah.
Okay.
It don't have to be people's list. More, but personally connected.
Yeah.
To.
Late Registration.
Ooh.
Quimini. Nothing Was the Same.
Those are classics, right?
Two more.
Yeah.
Late Registration, Aquemini, Nothing Was the Same. Getting our rap nerd on beat out. We getting our rap nerd on right
see the
now.
wheels turning.
Our podcast.
I love Blueprint.
Ooh.
Okay.
You know the album I love? When Fish Ride Bicycles by the Cool Kids.
Wow.
That's definitely the Blog era.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Blog era
album,
classic.
that album meant a lot to me. And Bake Sale. I love the Cool Kids.
Hmm.
Cool Kids gave me all that bounce and tempo that I like. All that smooth shit. That's, to me, I like beats that feel like they're not going like this. I like beats that are going in a circle.
Like that rider.
Yeah.
That's a good 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think so? Late Registration, that's your Ye album. That's Aquemini's your Outkast album. Blueprint's your J album.
I would say so.
Yeah.
I would definitely say so. Yeah, y'all got my gears turning.
Your basketball ties do run deep. You even named a song after Miami Heat star
Yeah.
Tyler Hero. Did your jump shot really improve after doing the
After
song?
what?
After doing the record with having him in the video and just doing the record named after him?
Hell no. But my jump shot improved a lot after this movie. I had a trainer I worked with, and he reconstructed my shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you nice right now? You want to play J. Cole one-on-one? You got him?
I'd play J. Cole.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
I'd play J. Cole.
Yeah, you guys were both in the Celebrity All-Star games. Not at the same time, but
Yeah, I think he dunked in one, didn't he?
now he did catch a dunk. I think it was an
Caught an
alley-oop.
alley-oop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
You had a 4-point
That
shot.
was about
though.
10 years ago, though, so I'd love to play him.
Do you feel? Are you a competitive guy?
Very.
Mm.
Extremely.
You like if I play you in a video game, you lose. You like throw the controller to the side.
I won't throw it. I'm good at masking my anger because I don't want people to know how I feel. But I desperately want to win everything. I play soccer every week, and I
Yeah, so talk about that soccer because you tease it in the video a little bit, so you're serious about it.
we just
right?
won our rec league championship a couple nights ago.
Oh,
Wow.
Thrilling.
Congrats,
Yeah,
champion.
congrats.
My
Thank
bad.
you. Yeah. Fuck all this album and movie talk. That's really what it is.
Soccer champion Jack Harlow.
Yeah.
Put some respect on it.
So we play every week with a bunch of guys that played in college or
Wait, how does a kid in Louisville get into soccer like this?
I'm still white, brother.
I don't believe it. But the white folks in Louisville play soccer? I can't do Louisville without saying Louisville like this. I gotta stop doing
Well,
my
you're
hands.
nailing
like
it though.
that. Louisville. Is it a popular sport out here?
I think soccer is the most popular sport on earth.
Yeah, it is.
You didn't
It
know.
is internationally, yeah.
Yeah, people play soccer out here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, people play soccer out here.
So you're nice with it. You're a good soccer player.
I'm straight. I just want to win. I'm not concerned with the stats I put up. I'm not concerned with looking good. And this goes for basketball, any sport I play, almost any activity.
Want that
I
W.
just want to win.
You
I
want
don't
that
care if my
dub.
teammates shine. I want to walk away and say, we won and you lost. That feels great to me. So I'm not a skills player. I'll put my shoulder into somebody and I'll run really hard. I'm an effort guy. Same with basketball.
Get those rebounds.
Yeah,
Set the pick.
exactly, bro. I'm Chris Kaman.
So what does like a W look like in the movie world for you?
I guess an Oscar. Fuck. I don't know.
Right. But for the success of White Man Can't Jump, do you care if it like goes number one at the box office? Do you care about people come up to you in the street? Like, what does that look like to you?
Yeah, all that would be nice. But it's all just byproducts. That's not why we do it. But all of it would be nice. I would love that.
Number one album, number one movie, some Jennifer Lopez shit, man.
Yeah, I try not to get too wrapped up in all that stuff, but it's all feels fucking good. Yeah, I'd love it.
Were you bummed when you didn't win the Grammy?
No, I wasn't bummed.
Yeah.
But it'll come. The time will come.
You was in the building though. You was.
Yeah, I felt
Oh,
honored to
Kendrick
be
didn't say that to
nominated.
you about it, right? He was like, "No, I'm sorry, my G."
Oh, no, because he ain't sorry. Yeah. There's nothing to be sorry about.
Right.
Yeah, the company enough. It was like, it felt really good. Nah, I hardly felt the way. My heart was beating on my chest in case they fucked around and said, I won.
Did you feel when you put out Jackman like it doesn't matter about sales or Grammy nominations? Like this is just where I'm at right now. Like you said, I gotta get my shit off, and I got motherfuckers know my dedication to this and who I
I just
am.
think you got to be careful about not getting too wrapped up in, because we get placed into a bubble within the industry. And so suddenly you find yourself interacting with nothing but peers, executives, and number crunchers. And you, like, if you're not careful, you forget there's human beings that are listening to your music. That's what really drives it. So all I really cared about was the connection with the fans and them feeling like there was no filter between how I felt and what I was giving to them. So this album was totally for my fans and for hip hop lovers.
Yeah, you mentioned Kendrick and Tyler giving you praise. Was there anybody like outwardly that surprised you that reached out to you about the album and really gave you your props on it?
Nobody's surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's surprising really. It's hard to recall, but people from all walks of life, I think it connected with the human spirit. I think vulnerability, people connect with. I think honesty, people appreciate. Right now, people want honesty. They don't have patience for anything but the truth.
Yeah.
Hip hop's in a weird space right now, man. I'm sure y'all could speak on it. It's in a very interesting space. So I was just trying to make something that was as rooted in hip hop as possible because it's evolving. I'm not gonna attach, like I said about the music, I'm not gonna attach a good or bad to it. It's just It's interesting.
Yeah, also me and B, I talked about before you came in. It's just like it's with such a challenge in this era to not only gain interest but sustain interest as a hip hop artist. Is that kind of somewhat what you're speaking about?
I guess I just mean I don't know how much people value music at this moment. I just don't know. I'm not saying I know. I'm saying I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where hip hop is headed. It's in a really interesting space. I think we're seeing, like right now, we're seeing a shift. We're in the middle of a big shift.
But it's funny because we always talk about we see this dynamic of, like, you know what I'm saying, you come from the era where there's the big three, there's the Drake, Kendrick, Cole, right? And then some artists shy away from, I'm going to be the next leader in that space, and some don't. I feel like you always say you want to be that person. You want to be a leader in that. Is that still where your mind's at of like?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely yearn for that type of influence, but it's something that people knight you for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you had to be compelling and you had to reach for it. And that's what I guess I mean by people are like, who's the next big three? But the game may be evolving to a place where it doesn't fit the same format as that time.
Yeah.
And what people want is changing. What the youth wants is changing. And it's almost like Drake, Kendrick, and Cole, their voices are damn near nostalgic at this point. We know this is good because this is from the days where things were a little better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear Drake's voice come on in the club and like, it almost reminds you of 2012, which was a great time.
Right.
Reminds you of 2016, which is a great time. And so it's almost like the history of the big three continues to reign on because of what they've already done. What they've already accomplished is like, well, we know we're getting some good shit from them. And it's why you see people go back and they're, instead of banging new shit, they're listening to Forest Hills Drive, or they're listening to Late Registration. It's almost like we're living in a time where people don't feel like this era is special enough to stamp anything as timeless or classic. As if the timeless and classic shit, it already happened. We can't get any new timeless and classic shit.
I feel like they never claimed the album's classic since Good Kid, Mad City. Like, every conversation's never been about this is a classic album. Good Kid, Mad City's last album was like,
it's almost like we're
classic
living
talk.
in the future, bro.
yeah.
And this may be a naive take in 20 years. Maybe we'll be looking at right now and be like, look at all this classic shit that's being made right now. But it's almost like we're living in the future because everyone is just so into the nostalgia of it all. They're so into the golden era. And it's almost like we've passed it so much that people are like, we're not going to stamp anything from right now because right now is not even a special time.
It's not enough time. It's not enough time.
Yeah, it's not even, I don't know. It's actually a struggle for me to articulate a little bit.
No, I think you're doing a good job.
I guess what I'm saying is, I think Scorpion is going to be a classic, just so you know. Like,
Yeah.
I think, like, these albums are, as time passes,
It's going to be looked at differently.
it's just how it is. It's just how it fucking is. I just feel like right now, almost on some post-pandemic shit, I was talking to John Mayer about this, about how culture's so fragmented. Artists put out music and the artist's job is to respond or comment on culture and society. But he and I were talking about there's no shared human experience anymore because everyone's living in their own pockets. Everyone's choosing what to digest. You got your shows, you got your artists, so you get to live in your pocket and you don't really need to be told who's a star or who's most important. And so I'm saying when Kendrick, Drake, and Cole, that was still a time where people were saying, nah, everyone needs to know these are the most important people. Now everyone gets to choose who's important to them. Everyone is living a fragmented version of culture.
Their own hero, yeah.
And so it's hard to make something that connects with the entire zeitgeist because there's no shared human experience.
So do you feel like an alien that this is the landscape, but you still have this old school MC shit of I'm going to be the best MC in the world?
I'm navigating, man. I don't know. I'm just reacting and taking it in. I'm okay with being wrong. I don't know. I'm okay with being wrong about half the shit I just said. Like, maybe in 5 years I'll see it differently, but it's just an interesting time.
But it's dope that, you know, like, even on Ambitious, you say, I got to show these boys who the best out is. You still want that. You still want to be the best MC.
You ain't leaving us for acting because we've lost the Ice Cubes and the Latifahs and all that.
Yeah, I knew I'm not going nowhere. I love this shit too much. This rap shit is not a cash grab to me or a vehicle to get famous. I love the craft. I grew up in it, so I'm here to stay.
Are you staying on that road? Are we getting a tour for Jackman?
I don't know. Playing it by ear right now. Tours take planning, so it obviously ain't happening in the next month or two, but keeping our finger on the pulse. Definitely have some things planned, but not feeling no pressure to go back out. Really excited to go back in the studio.
Already. Wow. So this is this is a full album. This is not an EP. This is the album. You're gonna live with this for like maybe a year or two, and
Who knows?
Not a year or two, I feel like.
Who knows?
How does this success or the impact of Jackman shape how you may approach your next album?
I may need a little time to decide. I needed time off Come Home to decide where I was gonna go. I remember going back, like I said, I did the movie after Come Home. I spent all that time away from the studio. I didn't record at the same time as the movie. And then by the time I got back, I felt like I'd lost a step. So you have to stay in it. You have to stay sharp because you'll get in there. And for me, at least, it takes a second to get back in the swing. So at some point, I just want to listen to beats for a while and see what's compelling.
Ooh.
do you work fast? Pen pad? No.
Some shit comes fast. Some shit takes time.
Okay.
Freestyling less and less. This album I wrote, I just wanted to write and take my time with. Make sure every line was worth hearing.
You pen and pad, iPad,
iPhone.
Okay.
Notes. Airplane mode.
I gotcha.
Let's talk about the last song if we get out of here. The questions. That's one of my favorites. What was the mind state going into recording that record?
I was high. I ain't even being funny. I was high. I don't get high, but I was high.
Really? On some smoking?
Yeah, I got high. And whenever I am in that space, I'm very self-conscious and self-loathing, almost critical. And I think I was just like thinking about all the flaws I see in myself, maybe. I just was thinking about, I don't know about y'all, but when I get high, I think I'm crap and everyone knows. Not on just on some rap shit, just as a human, like I get very self-loathing. I don't know. So I think some of that came out on that record where I was just like, I was seeing the negative in myself a lot when I was writing that.
I like that record a lot. It just reminds me of Smooth the Hustler record and the Jada Kiss joints, asking questions.
Yeah, I thought about playing that for Jada before it came out.
Oh, yeah.
Just like why.
Word.
Well, don't have to ask why you did this interview, Jack. We appreciate you doing
Thank you.
it, brother. You feel good about it?
Yeah, I feel great. Thanks for coming out here.
And before we get out of here, we have
Louisville,
to drink
talk to us. What we got here, man?
new product.
Focus?
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what y'all think of it. It's the remedy for writer's block. It's called Focus.
Now, Elliot and I are former writers, so
Let's talk it up. We don't need no writer's block, man. Let's get into it.
Plain, no sugar.
focus, man.
Ooh, it's cool.
It's good, right?
Moved out.
Yeah.
Let's do it, baby.
Made in Louisville.
Oh,
That's
it's a
what's
Louisville company.
You got it right. Beat out Louisville.
There we go.
Louisville.
Louisville. Love it.
Thank
Jack
you.
Harlow, thank you, brother. Rap Radar Podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you.